Today is Tuesday, May 7th, 2024, and welcome to SBA Today. Tonya, what are we talking about today?
Well, Paul, we are going to talk about National Small Business Week because it was just last week and it was amazing.
Yeah?
Are you in jail? No?
No?
Well, okay. What about the SBA loans? And they're going to take some stuff off of that. So SBA's got some things coming down. And interest rates. That's what we're talking about.
That's awesome. Well, hey, before we start in, I want to give a shout out because we have an award winner in our midst. And I want to congratulate number one small loan lender for your area, Midwest Regional Bank, and your team, Tonya Mazurek. Congratulations to you.
Well, it's not even small loan lender. It's Colorado SBA 7A, small lender of the year.
Small lender. Okay, that's my bad. Okay, sorry. Small lender. My bad.
Yeah, our average loan size is actually $2.5 million, so that's good. But thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. And oh my goodness, it was an excellent recognition. I kind of dressed for the part. If you can see, I'm in my party goods. Actually, the reason I did it, and I dressed in my evening attire here, is because of what I wanted to talk about tonight, actually. So I wanted to talk about what are you worth? Now, the reason I say this, now tomorrow, Wednesday, the 8th, is my birthday. And in I guess, lieu of my birthday or for my birthday, I decided to take myself to an auction. Now, this auction was for extremely beautiful, very high priced, very outside of my typical norm jewelry, and very nice paintings from known artists and whatnot.
Oh, wow.
I know. So I went, and lo and behold, I get the number 44. Well, 44 is what I'm doing with my whole fast forward 44, and 44 is a cool. Anyway, so I just love the number 44, and I was like, oh, that must say something. So we're going through it, and I had looked at everything first, and I had seen this necklace. It was gorgeous. It was all sapphire with some diamonds and blah blah. Anyway, lots of color, lots of beauty. It fits my personality. I'm not like a specific diamond girl. I love color. Imagine that, colorful personality. Anyway, so they start going through, they get to this thing, and oh my Lord, they first say the appraised value. And I'm like, oh, that's like a car. Anyway, for a house. Not a house, a car. Anyway, so they go through and they start bidding, and I don't know what struck me, but all of a sudden I put my number up.
Whoa.
I raised the number 44, and somebody else bid, and then I bid again. And so we went back and forth a couple times. And yeah, all of a sudden the gavel came down and Tonya won. Now, I want you to see what I'm wearing. Sapphires, because sapphire's a girl's best friend.
Wow. Dang.
So the reason I did this, here's kind of the story that I wanted to tell. So I grew up with not very much. And so the internal barometer for me oftentimes is frugal or save first, never spend, not, it's too much for me. It's whatever. And I always have this constant battle in my head, no matter how much I make or what I do, it's a childhood thing. So I've been doing a lot of work with different things anyway. And so this was like my gift to myself of telling myself I'm worth it. I make it, I can spend it how I want, and I'm worth spending it on myself, right? So that what makes me say this is in business. Think of all of us in business. We work with commission, whether it's lenders, whether it's brokers, whether it's commercial real estate agents. We all work with a piece of commission being how we are typically paid. Oftentimes we get into these buying wars or bidding wars, or let's drop our rate to get a specific deal in order to try to win it. Well, my point being, what are you worth? I did that once, right? To drop my rate to compete against somebody else. It's not something we typically do here. It's just not.
Right.
This one we did. And let me tell you something. It was a 2-year deal. 2 years it took me. Way more work than anything I swear I've ever done. And I made less than the broker that sent it to me on a name only, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
reason I say this is, what are you worth? Be what you're worth. Stick with your guns. If you feel you're worth whatever percentage that you're charging, stick with it because you are. So there you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. 100%.
Wow.
I want to share with you kind of an experience that I had as well. That during the gala, we have kind of a gala, and I think every region does it differently. But here up in the Washington Seattle district, they do a gala, and there's a lot of business brokers that show up. Every SBA lender is there for sure. It's definitely a great way to kind of say hi to your competition. But there's also the power of showing up. And I've kind of talked, I think, about this before a couple episodes ago, but I think it's crucial on this, especially during Small Business Week as well. Definitely we learned about some great businesses here in the Pacific Northwest, and many lenders and COIs in that room. One COI that I know really well is a business broker, and I referred him a customer a while ago, and I just knew that he'd be able to help him better, than probably some other brokers out there.
Right.
And really, at the end of the day, if I got a loan from it, great. But at the end of the day, I'm helping a person. The broker came up to me at the event and said, "Hey, I owe you a thank you." And I'm like, "Oh, did it actually close and do this?" And we talked, and we were all excited and everything. And he's like, "Hey, I want to go and take a picture with you, etc." And it was great. And he ended up financing it through a Rob's, which is great. And shout out to Paul and Susie at Guidant
Oh, I love
for
that.
doing that. Love them. But I helped someone achieve business ownership, even though it wasn't directly with me or my credit union. And at the end of the day, what did I get out of that? Goodwill. And frankly, in my heart, goodwill can pay the bills. They say, "Oh, that doesn't pay the bills." Oh, it can, because
I think it does.
now, obviously I have now a great reputation within that firm. And I'm trying to, you never know when the next deal comes up. Who do you think he's going to think of first? The guy who just
Absolutely.
sent him a lead without any sort of just here you go. It's not
And
like I'm
all
getting paid
all
for
we
it.
are is our reputation. Think about it. All we are is our reputation. That's all we really have that's ours is our
Yep.
name. And
Yep.
so your name is now gold in their eyes, so
And it takes a lot of time to build that goodwill.
but
I've
it
been doing
takes
this.
like that long to mess it up.
Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
absolutely. You're so correct. So, anyways, that was story
Awesome.
time with Paul and Tonya. Um, let's move
Well,
into.
you know what though, to keep on that really quick. So when we were at the awards ceremony, um, oh gosh, Jeff was sitting right beside me from Senior Ricks here in Colorado, and they won the small business of the year for 2024.
Oh,
And what was really neat about that, I just have to tell this because I was like Senior Rick, so I thought his name was Rick, and I said, "Well, who's Rick?" So he started it with two Ricks, were his business partners years ago, and him, Jeff, and so Senior Ricks, and so of course me with my little personality is like, "Oh, so they were the Ricks, and you're Senior." But anyway, I just thought that was so cute because when he got up there, I mean, he had tears in his eyes because unfortunately the two Ricks have passed. But just such an amazing man. And then Francis Padilla here in Colorado for the SBA, they were taken around Guzman actually to see different businesses over in Aurora, Colorado. And her post that I read, I just got to tell you, sometimes what you see and what you put out there, people read and they really want to do something with it. So she was talking about some of these small businesses. I swear I want to take a field trip over to Aurora and just go check out every one of these businesses. There's a brewery, so I can get my beer on. I better do that after the ice cream shop.
I'm
And then
flying
I got to
in.
stop beforehand. So anyway, go ahead.
That's awesome. I'm flying in for that beer and ice cream. It doesn't really get
Right?
much better than that in my life. I mean, I'm
Ah,
not a thin guy, so that's perfect. Well, hey, moving into our next topic, there is some new rules that came out on the new criminal rules are in the SBA register, meaning it's coming out soon. So currently, the program considers an ineligible business with an associate that is incarcerated on parole, on probation, or that has been indicted, but not convicted of a felony or a crime of moral aptitude. That's how it's worded right now.
Right.
Well, what they're going to be doing is removing the restrictions on businesses with an associate who is on probation or on parole. So probation and parole are going away probably within the next 30 days. And so we'll probably have a new SBA update on that. And of course, a new 1919.
So wait a minute now, specify this. What about those indicted but not charged?
I do not know. We'll have to see how that goes.
That would make zero sense. That would make zero sense to me that those indicted but not convicted would not go away, and they're not speaking about that. And yet those who are convicted and are out or still in goes away.
You got me. You got me. We'll have to see what comes out.
That's interesting. I look forward to seeing that. That's the point. That's going to be an interesting one. I have zero idea.
Yeah. Whew, that'll be interesting. And then finally, let's talk about interest rates, the most wonderful topic for SBA lenders like us. Tonya, take it away.
Yeah, if you say so. Of course. Okay. The big word out there, right, is they didn't drop rates again. I don't think any of us really thought that they would, but it's a little concerning that they're now talking about maybe not June either. And slowing it because they're concerned and whatnot with the rate. Well, no kidding. I've been concerned about the inflation rate and businesses, because I'm telling you whatever they're seeing when it comes to inflation and, going up, going down, whatever, it does not equate to our small businesses. I don't care what anybody tells me, right? Nor our home buyers, nor our employees that are getting paid less yet working more, or in the businesses that are paying them. I don't know. It's frustrating because I just feel like we're behind the mark. That's just me. Personal opinion. It is not my bank's opinion. It's my opinion.
Right. That disclaimer is on every episode, people.
What do you think?
I do think there is going to be, in my opinion, I think there's going to be a drop closer to the election.
Imagine that.
I agree with that. And I think it's going to be 0.25% purely for political points, and that's it. But don't worry, I'm pretty sure that the Fed is not, politics related or anything like that. So don't worry about that. But there are definitely higher borrowing costs out there for businesses. I've received multiple phone calls. Hey, my interest rate's really high and my bank won't do anything about it. Well, is it an SBA loan? Yes. Well, how much equity you got in your home? Let's look at the collateral and see if we can go conventional. But, where else are you going to get the loans for airball deals where there's, a lot of goodwill? So it's not ideal. It definitely hurts businesses. But I do think that, inflation and all of that does play a big part. And we need to get through that. When you pump out as much government money as we did years ago, we got to pay for it. And that's not politics. That's logic. And
I think we're fixing to start paying for a heck of a lot of things, rates just being one of them.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah.
So sorry, guys, SBA lenders, we are stuck with high rates for another few months. So
yep, we are. So, well, guys, we appreciate you coming and watching again, and we'd love to see you next Tuesday. I'll be celebrating tomorrow, but hey, we're still watching today. Anyway, my last day of being my age number. So I'm going to wish you farewell on the last day before I turn another year older.
And so happy birthday.
Thank you. Come watch us next Tuesday or on any of the streaming platforms. You can listen to us and get your heart's content. Otherwise, and hey, share. If you think that we've got something to add value to anybody that share it on your pages, share it out there. Comment below. We'd love to know that people are watching and really getting something out of this show. Anyway.
Awesome. See you guys.